Hello and welcome to another Lemonade series with Lynne Forrest. I'm Jaquetta, and today we're going to be talking about how to turn depression, the feelings of depression, into lemonade, or how could that possibly be good? Lynne, how would you turn depression into lemonade?
That's a good one. You know, it is about the understanding that the universal law teaches us that there are no problems. And what does that mean? That doesn't mean that things aren't hard at times. It doesn't mean that we don't struggle and have challenges. As a matter of fact, life is full of them, and that's just the point. We begin to understand, we begin to look around, and we see that everyone has challenges and struggles, and we compare our struggles when we do with others. When we do, we often feel bad, and because we start and to me, this is sort of, the depression is a chronic state of constantly reciting to ourselves old stories about who we are and believing them, old beliefs that say, I'm unworthy, my life's not worth living, I have nothing to offer, I have nothing to give, there's nothing good happening for me. When we get into that mindset, then we are seeing the world as being full of problems. And what we have the opportunity to do there, if we so choose, and it is a choice, and that is so much about turning lemons into lemonade. It's about the choice of how do I see it. So how can I see these feelings that I have? How can I see depression as as something that's working for me? And one of the things that occurs to me around that is that when I am having any sort of depressed feeling, a feeling of negativity, a feeling of worthlessness, then it's a signal that I am out of alignment with who I really am. That there's I'm buying into a story. I'm buying into an unhappy idea of who I am. And this feeling is alerting me to that. And that is its job. And that is not a problem. That is a good thing, because I need to be alerted that there's something going on with me, that I'm out of alignment, that there is, because that's the only way I can move up from there. I can't move up if I don't recognize that this is serving me somehow. And so how is it serving me? Well, it's pointing its finger to the very kinds of things I'm doing that are depressing me, pressing me down, holding me down, so that I can use that heads up as a doorway to begin to find what it is I'm believing that is disparaging. Where is it I'm out of alignment with me? What am I believing about me? And do I know it absolutely? How else can I see that? If rather than my life is not worth living, how about if I turn around and look at my life as being exactly what it needs to be in order for me to see what it is I'm believing that is blocking me from remembering who I am? That is a plus. That is for me. And what if my life is the design it is because it's bringing me the challenges that will refine me, and that is where I'm supposed to be? And so it's not about discounting that or denying that. It's about understanding that even that too has purpose.
That is so true. And I think once we see and once we kind of identify where it is we're out of alignment, or what we're telling ourselves that is either completely just not true or has a grain of truth in it somewhere, or we think that we believe that it is true, where do we go from there? I mean, if we're telling ourselves that we are worthless, that our life is meaningless, or that we've done something totally so wrong that it cannot be corrected.
The question is it true? Do I know that absolutely? What did I learn from this? How can it serve to refine me? What is it showing me about what I don't want as a finger pointing to what I want instead? And focus there. How would I like it to be? And what what can I do to begin to move towards that? The thing that we forget about life is that life is a yin yang, and what that means is it's both the dark and the light. We have to have the shadow, the contrast, in order to choose the light. We this is how we are given a choice. We're shown what takes us away from alignment, and we're shown what takes us to alignment. And moment to moment, we have that choice. And the things that we call mistakes, things that we've done in the past, or simply us experiencing the shadow so that we can more fully choose the light. And when we get this and come on board with it, then we begin to be able to use that knowing as a way to refine and move towards what we want. I am a person who brought myself up through a lot of negativity and old story about myself by doing that very thing, by saying, okay, it's like the realization that who I truly am, extension of the one mind, because that is what we all are. The ancients believed, and I believe along with them, that all 400 billion galaxies are happening in the one mind of the creator source, which means I am an extension of that mind, and therefore that mind thinks me, and I am that mind, and what I think truly is connected with that. And I get to, because I am part of that, I get to co-create my reality, which means whatever I'm believing, I will send out and attract to me an energetic vibrational match for that in my life. And that will show me exactly what I'm believing about me, so that I can then tweak it, refine it, and cast the line out again to reel in more of what I want and less of what I don't want. And that is why we experience what we don't want, to figure out we don't want it and all the reasons why, so that we can say, well, what do I want? And do that instead. When we really get that, it becomes an exciting journey.